Hello, Namaskar and Adab to all my friends from your friend astrologer and guide Irfan, once more with you from your very own channel Astro Assurance. Today we will be talking about which is the most important planet in the horoscope. Mind you, we are not talking about the strongest but the most important planet. Why we are not talking about the strongest but the most important? Because the strongest planet sometimes may not be the most important one, and it may give you results basis its placement and its aspect and during its dasha. However, the most important planet will be the one who will be directing you or influencing you on a day-to-day basis, rather than most of the time in its dasha or antardasha or because of its transit. Now, various planets have been called different terms. For example, the sun has been called the Atma, and sun also represents your honor, your pride, your prestige, and sun gets exalted in the first sign or Aries. So sun is a very important planet. It also is a planet which represents the father, so it's a very important planet. Brihaspati or Jupiter or Guru has also been called one of the most important planets because it is the most benefic one. It brings prosperity, and Jupiter is a planet by virtue of its aspect. It can keep the most malefic of planets under control and keep their malefic energies under more auspicious aspects of the Jupiter, in such a manner that their benefic tendencies will more or less be seen rather than the malefic ones. So Jupiter can put a rein on or put a chain on the most malefic of planets. So Jupiter obviously is a very important planet and one of the most stronger planets also, depending on its degrees and placement. Then Saturn has been called one of the most important planets and one of the stronger planets because one, it's feared a lot. Shani Dasha is feared a lot. Shani Sadesati is feared a lot, and if Saturn is not well placed, it can bring a lot of grievances and grief to the native. So obviously Saturn is very, very important. And then Rahu and Ketu are very, very malefic energies, and they can create really very, very bad situations for a native, create huge challenges for the native. So obviously then they also become very important planets and strong planets as well. So every planet in its own way is important. Venus brings you wealth, it brings you fame, it brings you intimacy from the opposite gender. So obviously Venus is also very important. So each planet has its own presence, has its own strength, has its own results, and eventually, and that's why they are important. However, the most important planet is the moon. And why is the moon the most important planet? Because of various reasons. Number one, moon is a planet which represents the mother, and it is from the mother's womb that the child comes out. And so if moon is strongly afflicted, then obviously the native will have huge challenges. Right from when it is in the mother's womb to when it comes out, the child will face challenges throughout its life. It may have challenges in how much nutrition it gets in the mother's womb, and whether it is born healthy or it's born with some deficiencies or afflictions in the body, or whether it gets nourishment from the mother in form of its her milk, and whether she loves and supports the child, she takes care of the child, she nurtures the child, she gives the values to the child. All these are also important basis the placement of the moon in the child's horoscope as well. And obviously mother being the most important person in a person's life, because mother's love is unconditional love, and that is one love that sustains irrespective of what the situation can be. And if there is one person who is the most forgiving one and is the least judgmental for you, it is the mother. And that's why moon, which represents the mother, is the most important planet, and that this is just one of the reasons. The other reason is moon represents the fourth sign of Cancer. Now Cancer, which is the sign of the fourth house, and what is the fourth house? Fourth house is the area of the chest area where you also have the heart. So moon therefore signifies the heart. So if moon signifies mother, moon also signifies the mind. Moon has also been called the Manas, and moon also signifies the mother. Then moon rules three very, very important attributes or entities in your life: the mother, the heart, which is your emotions, and the mind, your thinking ability. And we have just started. The fourth house also represents all your material gains and your luxuries and your wealth. All your riches are signified by the fourth house. So your houses, your vehicles, your jewelry, whatever you have bought with money, whatever your assets are, whatever are your riches, they all represented by the fourth house. So a strong moon also means that you have very strong chances or probabilities of getting a lot of these material benefits also. And the other attributes of the fourth house are, fourth house is also your mental peace and your domestic happiness. Now just think about it. A person who has a loving mother, who has a strong heart, a heart which can love, which can also protect itself, strong mind, which can take important decisions, will not be easily flustered, and you have all material benefits like cars, houses, bungalows, jewelry, everything, and you have mental peace and you have domestic happiness of the house. What more do you want? So if somebody has a very strong moon and a very strong fourth house, we have everything. The only thing missing in this picture is your health, which is represented by the Lagna. So in any horoscope, if you have a very strong Lagna and a very strong Lagna Lord, and if you have a very strong fourth house and a very strong moon, half of your challenges are over. Why? Lagna represents your overall reputation, how you will be seen in society, how your personality will be, plus your health, and overall energies and overall effects of life are seen through the Lagna. And fourth house, we just talked about strong heart, great mind, strong mind, all the riches. So what more do you want? Now the other things which you may be missing out is, you may not have great education, because if your fifth and ninth are afflicted, yet you have happiness, you have all the comforts of the world, you have a good reputation in society, and you have good health. What more do you want? So what if you don't have college degrees, for example? You may not have a lot of friends, but you may have good loving and supporting family. So in short, with the fourth house being very, very strong, supported by the Lagna or the Lagna Lord, is enough for you. At least to a large extent is enough for you. A lot of people who are born in very rich families, born in the family of celebrities, will have usually these two houses very strong, the fourth and the Lagna. For example, if you take a celebrity like the son of, say, Shah Rukh Khan, I think his name is Aryan Khan or something, he will have a lot of followers on Instagram or Twitter or in Facebook, God knows what accounts he has, just by virtue of being the son of a celebrity. And he's a celebrity in his own right, just because he's the son of a celebrity, a huge big celebrity who is renowned all over the world. Plus he has everything. He has good life, luxurious life, all the comforts of the world, and he has the world at his feet. So a lot of people who are born in very rich families and affluent families will have a very strong Lagna and the fourth house. If they don't have a strong Lagna but they have a strong fourth house, then obviously they will have a good background. The Lagna means not being very strong means that they may be born with that, but later on they may do something because of which they also are not so respected, or they may have a downfall as well. So it's important for any individual to have both, to have a very strong Lagna and to have a strong fourth house. Now there are various other things also about the moon, not just the material aspects on having the love and affection of the mother and strong heart and mind. The reason being is, moon is a planet which is not easily influenced by others, because it is the fastest moving planet. It changes its nakshatra over just one day and a few hours, and it will change the sign just over 2 days. So it will not remain under the aspect of either a malefic or a benefic planet for more than 2 days at max. So what it means is that it's not easy to influence the moon, but at the same time, by virtue of moving the nakshatras every day and few hours more, which means that the moon is always under the influence of different energies at any given point of time. That's why you will find that sometime in the morning you may get up groggy and not feeling up to it, but once you reach work, you get engrossed in work, then you're enjoying yourself, you're too busy, and you have friends, maybe you have colleagues who have become your friends, and you have a good time there. In the evening you may be tired, but you go to a party again, so your mood changes 3-4 times in the day, which could be also because of the nakshatra you are in, and what is the moon going through, waning, waxing moon, new moon, amavasya. So based on all of these, your moods will also change. So moon will have a lot of strong influence on you on a day-to-day basis, sometimes even on an hour-to-hour basis. Moon is also the closest to the planet Earth, and that's why it has a strong bearing on the tides of the oceans. A lot of times we also hear that that there are some events in the world which are related to water. So these are all also signified by the moon, which also has a tendency to control the tides. So in effect, in short, moon has a day-to-day effect on us. It is not like Saturn, which has gone into a sign for 2 years, 4-5 months, and it remains there. So moon is this yin and yang, and all the time there is some or the other movement in the life, movement in the mind because of the moon. The other thing that moon does is, moon also gives us the power to think and think well. That's why even if you have a strong Jupiter, for instance, Jupiter gives you wisdom, but a wisdom with a depressed mind is nothing. If you are a very wise person, but at the same time you don't have a supporting, a loving family, you are just depressed, then what is the point of using all the wisdom? The wisdom may be for somebody else, but you are sad and depressed within your heart, so it doesn't help. You may have a very sharp Mercury, which gives you the analytical ability, but if you don't have a strong moon, then your analytical ability may be used in wrong things, in unethical things, in trying to get into shortcuts and use shortcuts to get money and other material things, even taking the unethical route or the illegal route if the moon is not strong. If the mind is not strong, then you will also have various challenges in life also. That's why doctors and psychiatrists, they will not only have a strong moon, but they will also tell you that please meditate, and if you meditate you will be able to control your mind, and through your mind you will also be able to get out of depression, get out of any afflictions of the mind. The other thing about the moon is, which is the important thing, is moon is not inimical to any sign and to any planet. That's why moon gives good results in almost any sign and any house. So as long as there are no negative aspects on the moon, moon may be in any house and any sign, it will give you good results. In fact, moon from Aries until Pisces, except Scorpio to an extent, it gives you excellent results as long as it is sitting alone or under the aspect of a benefic. So if moon is sitting alone in any sign, it will give you great results. And if it's in Scorpio where it is debilitated, it gets debilitated at 3 degrees in Scorpio. Yet if it is under the aspect of a benefic like a Jupiter or a Venus or a Mercury, it will still give you excellent results. It can make you a great researcher. If you have moon in the 3rd house, then you will work very hard using your mind rather than your hands, and using your mind you will do a lot of smart work. If you have a strong 3rd house and strong 5th house is the house of hobbies, games, and if you have a strong Lagna and Mercury, then you can be very good at sports, you can be very good at competitive games. If 6th house is good, then you can be very good in competitive exams. You can do excellently well in competitive exams. If moon is in the 9th house, for instance, you may get the love and affection of father, just like as if he is your mother, because 9th house is father and moon sitting there means father will have a lot of maternal tendencies. He will be soft to you, and you will have a very good affection with your father. Teachers will also be more supportive and more caring and empathetic to you if moon is in the 9th house. You may like to converse with or interact with people from different cultures, go to foreign lands, like visiting, and your mind will be engrossed in a lot of research and trying to attain a lot of knowledge and higher knowledge, even higher degrees. The moon is in the 9th house, for instance. A moon in the 7th house will bring you and get you affection from your opposite partner. Moon in the Lagna will give you radiance of beauty. People, when they look at you, the face will be very radiant. It will radiate a lot of luminescence like the moon. So moon in any house will give you great results. Moon in the 5th house will bring you affection towards the children, and children will also be very caring to you in their old age, as long as moon is not afflicted. So the only challenge for moon is if it's under the aspect of or in conjunction with a moon or a Ketu or a Rahu, or to some extent even with a Mars, only then moon can give you challenging results. Otherwise, moon in any house and under any sign with a benefic can give you good results and give you fantastic results, all around prosperity, happiness, domestic peace, great motherly affection from mother and wherever it is placed in, give you happiness, give you a strong heart, give you a strong mind, can illuminate you, can make you more empathetic, make you more caring, make you softer, so that your relations are also good with others, and will also make you spiritual if you have a strong Jupiter as well. Moon, even with Ketu under the aspect of a benefic, can still make you very, very spiritual. So moon is a planet which can take you places. Moon is also a planet which is seen in the jata or in the hair of Shiva. So it is the crowning glory of Shiva. Shiva is the destroyer. So strong moon can keep you from destruction, can keep you away from a lot of problems and challenges and afflictions in your life. Moon aspecting any house is also very, very benefic. The other thing why moon is so important is because the nakshatra of the moon, or the nakshatra that you are born in, where the moon is placed, that becomes the nakshatra of your life, and most of the attributes of the nakshatra are the ones which will control your life. That's why moon is very important from the nakshatra point of view also. Second, the nakshatra in which the moon is, its lord will be the first dasha that you will start off with. So for example, a moon is in Sagittarius, say in the Mula nakshatra, Mula is ruled by Ketu. So the first dasha that you start off your life will be Ketu. So that's why there are a number of importances of the moon. And the next, the moon lagna is a very, very important lagna, and it is called also the Rashi lagna. So a lot of results in your life will be seen from your moon lagna. So the second from the moon will also give you where your mind is in terms of earnings and in terms of your interest. The third from the moon will show where your efforts are going. The fifth from the moon will show what you like, what you love to do. The sixth from the moon will show you where your mind will be in terms of service to others and where you would want to move. So a lot of results all can be seen from the moon as well as from the lagna, or validated from each other. And then the transitions also seen from the moon, the gochar. So the best results that can be talked about from a transition, when a planet transits into a house, can be seen from the lagna and validated by the moon. Only then can you really predict right results. So moon, therefore, because of all these reasons, is the most important planet. Now if your moon is very afflicted, then what do you do? So various remedies had been talked about. Fasting on Monday has been talked about, because Monday is the day which represents the moon, and then various mantras have been talked about, because moon is also called Som. So Om Som Somaya Namah 108 times that you chant is a good remedy for a lot of afflictions of the moon, and also where the moon is placed in your in your horoscope. But the best attribute that I find for affliction of the moon is your attitude and your behavior. The best remedy, one of the best remedies in terms of your behavior, is to behave well towards mother and motherly figures. So all those people who are older, much older to you, especially of the opposite gender, to treat them as mother and with the same affection and care and support and empathy as a mother, it will really strengthen your mood. Of course, firstly your duty goes to the mother. If your own mother is unhappy and you're taking care of all the women in the world with the same affection, it doesn't make sense. The next is, if you really want to stop afflictions or reduce affliction on the moon, then it's important to meditate. Sit in a place where you can see the moon, you can take in the rays of the moon, and then imagine the moon and you meditate. Chanting of mantras alongside can be very good for you. Some people also talk about keeping a little water outside in your balcony for a few hours when there is a full moon or any rays of the moon, and then having it later. So it's a very good thing. Then drinking in a silver glass or eating in a silver plate can again enhance your moon, the strength of the moon, because moon also represents silver or white objects. So these are some of the remedies, but in general, if you treat people with a lot of empathy, with a lot of love and support, then also your moon can be strengthened. So meditating, taking care of your mother and having motherly affection towards your own children, and supporting people who are destitute, and taking special care of people who are older, especially of the opposite gender, and treating them with the same motherly support, and then also having an attitude of overall love and affection towards general humanity will all strengthen your mood and give you excellent results. So friend, this is my analysis of moon and why it is the most important planet in the horoscope. Please like this video, please share this video, and please press the bell icon so that you get to know when my new video is coming. Please subscribe to my channel, and if you are looking for a consultation from me, please reach out to me in the links given below in the description box. Until we meet some other time, this is your friend, astrologer and guide Irfan signing off. Ciao.